Programming brought to you by AWI Networks, Smarter Internet.
Thanks for joining St. George News at 8. I'm Scott Beadle. St. George Regional Airport had its lone runway shut down after a pilot landed without using landing gear Wednesday morning. Around 9 a.m., a Cessna Centurion came down without its landing gear fully extended. This is known as a gear-up landing, where the gear is not locked in place, making the belly the primary landing device. The plane hit the ground and slid for several seconds, damaging the propellers in the process. The pilot was able to get out uninjured. Meanwhile, the FAA was contacted and airport personnel cleared the plane. The runway was shut down for about half an hour, delaying 2 cargo flights. The accident was apparently caused due to the pilot failing to lower his landing gear. A group of state attorneys general are broadening an investigation into the opioid industry. Overdose deaths from the powerful drugs have quadrupled since 1999. 41 attorneys general are now involved in various parts of the civil investigation. That now includes subpoenas to 5 pharmaceutical companies and 3 distributors for information to see if they are using unlawful practices in the marketing and sale of the drugs. Opioids were connected to more than 33,000 deaths nationwide in 2015, including 646 in Utah. They're currently the main driver of drug overdose deaths nationwide. An assistant U.S. attorney serving in St. George will soon be a judge. Governor Gary Herbert has appointed Matthew Bell to fill a new position on the 5th District Court. In his announcement, the governor praised Bell's work ethic and temperament. Bell has served as an assistant U.S. attorney in Utah since 2008. Prior to that, he worked as a trial attorney in Dallas and with the St. George Police Department. This new position covers Beaver, Iron, and Washington counties. It was created due to the high workloads those judges were facing. Some housing modules meant for temporary use at the Washington County Purgatory Correctional Facility will soon be replaced by a permanent $2 million building. The County Commission gave its approval on Tuesday, setting the stage for Hughes General Contractors to build the new housing structure. The modular units were constructed in the mid-90s and were meant to be a short-term solution. The building is meant for work release inmates who have had good behavior and are nearing the end of their sentences. People and their pups came together at Best Friends Animal Society's sanctuary this weekend for Strut Your Mutt. The fundraiser was one of 14 nationwide to help save the lives of homeless pets. Animal welfare groups came from southern Utah, northern Arizona, and Las Vegas and raised more than $36,000. They will continue fundraising through October 31st to try and reach their goal of $50,000. Each year, hundreds of groups participate in Strut Your Mutt nationwide, and last year they raised more than $2.6 million to help save animals' lives. Every day, nearly 5,500 dogs and cats are killed in shelters across the country because they don't have a home. The death toll from Hurricane Maria has risen to at least 18. President Trump has now approved a disaster declaration for Puerto Rico, saying the U.S. territory was, quote, absolutely obliterated by Hurricane Maria. Elizabeth Herr has the story.
Puerto Rico beginning the process of cleaning up from Hurricane Maria. A daunting task with many streets left impassable and neighborhoods submerged after some areas got drenched with more than 30 inches of rain in just 24 hours. Overnight, the governor heading out himself with the National Guard, rescuing families, including children, from flooded homes. The storm, so destructive the entire island of Puerto Rico is still without power.
So Puerto Rico is in very, very, very tough shape. Their electrical grid is destroyed. It wasn't in good shape to start off with.
President Trump is now promising Puerto Rico federal funding to help with the recovery. This as the Prime Minister of Dominica, the Caribbean island where Maria first targeted as a Category 5 hurricane, made an emotional plea for help.
If anybody's listening to me, helicopter services are going to be critical to get the supplies to people.
The damage assessment continuing, but the Prime Minister says the situation there is dire. There is no electricity, and some villages are now only accessible by a boat or helicopter.
Authorities say authorities across the Caribbean say it will take months, if not longer, to rebuild from Irma and Maria. Chief Meteorologist Chris Summers has your Southern Utah forecast coming up right after this.
The weather tonight is brought to you by AWI Networks, smarter internet.
And welcome back, everyone. A good Thursday evening to you. I want to take a look at our viewer photo sent in by Ken Label, actually showing you some beautiful scenery across southern Utah. This is actually taken in Zion National Forest or National Park. And you can definitely see how beautiful that looks, and that's the reason he sent into it. It says it's actually newsworthy because it's always beautiful out there, and it sure is, even when temperatures maybe not quite as warm as they've been, actually falling back into the 80s here today. And it looks like we'll see temperatures eventually getting into the 70s across our area, so some very fall-like weather is in our forecast. 86 degrees was the high today here in St. George. It's below our normal of 90. Record high for the date 100 back in 1967, and no precipitation in the past 24 hours. And it looks like we're going to stay mainly dry here for at least our Friday. And so today is the last day of summer, Friday afternoon around 2 o'clock. That's the official start of fall, and we have some fall in our forecast. A little breezy too, much like we saw today. Those winds will be a little gusty across our region. Cedar City, 62 degrees, partly to mostly cloudy skies. 72 at Hurricane, 75 degrees St. George, and 76 degrees in Mesquite. Much like we saw late this afternoon. You actually had temperatures in the 80s here. Well, like I said, well, back in the 70s as we get into tomorrow. We'll see those temperatures staying well below average here, even as we get into the weekend too, across parts of southern Utah. Here's a look at your temperatures from today. 70 in Enterprise, 74 Cedar City, 86 degrees Hurricane, and also St. George, Mesquite, 81. The high temperature down in Vegas. Starting to see a few clouds out there. Again, a little bit of rain moving through as well. Seeing that on our radar and satellite. Again, some isolated chance of rain coming through our area here. Just some very widely scattered showers. They're actually going to be more prevalent up towards Cedar City, but you may see a few sprinkles or light rain showers come into St. George in the next hour or so. And they actually will move through the area then, just leaving a few clouds left over. But it looks like a big area of low pressure is going to really put a big dip in our jet stream, and that's going to bring some much cooler weather to our area and also bring some windier conditions too as we get to Friday afternoon. So what else can you expect to see? Mostly sunny and staying on the cooler side. We'll see the temperatures drop into the 70s for daytime highs, even here in St. George. And that means Cedar City will probably be in the 60s with pleasantly cool temperatures into the weekend. We'll have some sunshine get back on Sunday. Again, still seeing pretty pleasant weather. But here comes that big dip in the jet stream. Again, some cooler temperatures filtering into our area, 10 to 20 degrees below our normal high temperatures. Yeah, normally we're seeing highs reaching about 90 here in St. George. Looks like we're going to be basically into the 70s over the next couple of days. And what that cool weather does actually push that heat off to our south and east. So actually going to see that heat retreat and push out into the plain states over the next couple of days. And we're going to just see some cooler temperatures in our forecast. That starts tomorrow for you Friday. Here's a look at our temperatures around Cedar City, 62, 63 degrees Enterprise. Again, partly sunny skies, a lot cooler. Looking for a high of only 75 here in St. George for your Friday, 76 degrees. The high temperature in Mesquite, again, sunshine and cool weather. Not quite as breezy as today, but may see those winds gust a little bit. And actually could be looking at maybe a mixing of some light rain or light snow as we get to Sunday around Cedar City. Cold enough, yeah, temperatures overnight in the 20s. And daytime highs into the 50s with a little bit of shower activity this weekend. And then a little bit warmer next week, getting eventually back to 70 by the time we get to Cedar City on Thursday. But St. George, southern Utah, yeah, a little cool here too. The weekend looking like temperatures stay in the low 70s on Saturday and Sunday with partly to mostly sunny skies. Overnight lows into the 40s, so not quite as cool here, but to be careful around Cedar City because there could be a little bit of light snow. Not expecting a big accumulation on Sunday, but it could be a little bit of light snow. And actually some of our friends to our north up in parts of Idaho and Montana, some of the higher elevations are seeing their first snow here overnight tonight and through tomorrow. Could be picking up maybe a foot of snow in some of the higher elevations. So even though fall officially starts on Friday, a little bit of winter coming to our area here in the next couple of days with temperatures way below average.
Pretty good accumulation this early on.
Yeah, right. Very early to be seeing that, that's for sure. Yeah, you know, we're talking about some heat in the southeast, we're talking about heat in the Midwest, but here we're actually talking about cooler temperatures. Kind of unusual. We normally talk about the warmer temperatures here in the south, in the southwest, but it looks like falls are going to be really fall-like over the next couple of days.
Hey, 70s sounds great.
I think we'll enjoy that, that's for sure, especially this weekend.
Thanks, Chris. Still ahead, the kids that was really getting the cops' goat. Out of the hundreds of calls the Auburn, Massachusetts Police Department received over the weekend, the ones about a goat really stood out. That's right, a goat was spotted wandering around town. Calls came in beginning early Saturday, first at a storage facility, then was spotted on a highway. By Sunday morning, police received a call that the elusive farm animal was at a school. Finally, surveillance cameras caught the goat at a hotel, wandering the halls in the wee hours of Monday morning. That's where the goat was captured and returned to its owner at a nearby pig farm. Thanks for watching.
We hope you have a great night.